The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
And this show is presented by Manscaped. Sign up for 20% off using the promo code DANGLE. Manscaped.com, use the promo code DANGLE for your balls.
That was really good.
Balls. Are they clean? Are yours clean?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because I cleaned them.
Did you get the Performance Package 4.0 in the
yeah,
mail from Manscaped?
Yeah. That's
Did you use the promo code DANGLE and get 20% off?
Mm-hmm. I did.
That's all you got?
I did all those things.
That's all you got?
Sorry, you ambushed me.
Wow. Well, now you know what it's like to sit next to you.
Don't get ambushed with your bush. Get the Manscaped. Sorry. I'm new to this.
Well, I'm going to start bringing you on these Manscaped ads. Okay? So we do want to shout them out. That's so great that they came on as a presenting sponsor. So we're very, very happy. That is actually mine. So I'm turning my...
Steve, I wasn't switching anything. You're like, all right, okay.
Oh, no. I think, you know what it was?
Okay,
he
that's
just
too loud.
talked quieter.
No, too loud.
He just talked quieter.
All right, so Jesse is playing with our headphone volume. All right, are we good now?
Is that good?
That's good for me.
No, it's still pretty goddamn loud.
Well, because you haven't had
There
yours
we go.
changed yet.
There we
You were
go.
giving the thumbs up for me, and I couldn't hear you anymore.
Sorry. I was deafened, so I couldn't understand what was happening.
Promo code DANGLE, manscaped.com. Get yours. Now, listen, lots going on.
That was smooth.
Lots going on. But I know this, and I want to tell you this. Get a message over the weekend from Chris Johnson. And
Who's traded?
nobody's traded.
1, 2, 3, a name.
Nobody's traded.
1, 2, 3, name.
Everybody, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, that's so good.
No, it was so... He's just standing next to the Stanley Cup.
I also got this.
And he... and what was so funny is that, like, he's... You know, Julian always calls him, like, Big Money CJ.
Yep.
And then Julian's first response is, "Oh yeah, you're not Big Money CJ, just hanging with the Stanley Cup and Coburg on a Saturday night." So I won't blow what happened, but he's got a story for you on the CJ show, and it's pretty great. And there might be a Coburg Poppy picture in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh my goodness.
Chris definitely looks like his father.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, like you could tell that's relation.
That's
sure.
He doesn't have any of the milkman kid stuff going on.
I do. Have you seen a picture of my dad?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
We look nothing
Same.
alike.
No, same. Nothing.
Yeah, you do look like you. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't look like Gary.
You look like your dad.
Yeah, you got a little
I
bit.
look like Gary.
Oh, there's
I
a
look
little
like
bit of
Tina.
structure, right?
No, Gary's your dad.
I look like Clementina.
You look identical to your mother, Tina. But,
Yes.
you also look a little like Gary.
That doesn't make sense. It
There's
can't be both.
There's a Gary, like there's a shade of Gary in Steve, right? You can
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. You don't
It's
know
the
what it
voice.
is, but there's something.
Oh, yeah.
It's the voice. I used to mess with his friends.
Really?
All the way back to when I was like 14, 15 years old. When the second my voice dropped, I would be able to just have a full-on conversation with his friends.
No
And they would think
kidding.
it was me, yeah.
Wow.
Or think it was him, yeah.
So when you got
He
in
didn't
trouble,
appreciate that.
when you got in trouble and he yelled at you, did it sound like your rant about the Arizona Coyotes?
I did.
Did it?
It did a little bit. Oh, every now and then, like, I'll raise my voice and scare myself.
Jesse, are you more your mom or your dad? Do you think?
Probably my dad. I think my dad in younger pictures looked exactly like me when I'm in my younger pictures. So like when I was 25, I look like my dad when he was 25.
You need the younger pictures.
Yeah, the younger pictures where you really see it.
Yeah. You've never
Yeah.
seen Jesse's dad publicly because he's more myth than anything, but he is.
Well, Adam, not all of our parents can host a national television
But
show.
but
like there's a
Jesse's-
little bit of difference.
Jesse's dad's a bit of a rock star. I just want to say I love Jesse's dad. He's the man.
Steve's dad is an actual
rock star.
who plays in a band.
Yeah.
Adam's mom is a legitimate rock star because she is on television all the time and is a Canadian icon.
There it is.
My dad's a normal guy.
Atomic Tomb. My dad asked me to promote it every show. So Atomic Tomb.
What website can we go to for Atomic?
Are they on Spotify?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and other stuff. I don't know.
Cool.
He's like, oh yeah, Reverb Nation. I'm like, Dad, no one
Oh man,
People don't know what
my
Reverb
band used to be
Nation
on Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation's a big deal.
Is it?
You
Oh.
should put it on SoundCloud though. I want your dad to become a heavy metal SoundCloud rapper.
Oh man,
Don't you think?
Yeah, he should do a mashup like Jay-Z Linkin Park.
Yes.
And yeah, just have some SoundCloud rapper.
Or the Travis Barker Soulja Boy Tell 'Em remix.
Right.
Which is actually really good.
Right.
Is this your dad here? Atomic Tomb?
That's them.
Can we play it?
Is
it licensed? Is it licensed?
No, I don't want to play it.
I don't think
It wouldn't be licensed, would it? He's not
I
registered
have no
with
idea.
SoCan.
I don't know laws. I don't
If
know
you
laws.
want to play it, we definitely can, but is that a good idea?
No.
Okay.
Go.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
told you where to go. Go.
I want to ask beforehand because I want to ask him and be like, "Are you registered?" Because if he's not, then we're okay.
Oh, he's going to listen to this and be like, you should have played it. And I'm going to be like, you don't know laws either. So you know less of them than I do. So no, we're not playing it.
All right. So Jesse, run us through this. This just came out before the show started. How about that? We must be in a good week because we started a bit later and this news dropped.
Oh, just you wait, Adam. There's plenty of time to screw it up.
All-Star Game Skills Challenge. Jesse, run us through it. What are we in for at the end of the week?
The NHL All-Star Game takes place this Saturday. They're doing the skills competition and the All-Star Game. All-Star night happens Saturday. Skills competition happens Friday.
Okay.
Friday at 7:30. They're doing 7 events.
Okay.
For the skills
By the way,
competition.
can I just say that's so much better? They used to run the All-Star Game on like at 2:00 on a Sunday.
Oh,
I don't know. I
It was
kinda
like,
like
oh.
that.
Well, no, they were just so hungover. Right? Like, I want them to finish the game and go drink and party because the All-Star Game was dead.
no, the
That's
players
fair.
hate it. They get in at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And then they got to do stuff. all
Yeah.
day.
Anyway, Jesse, what do we got?
There's 7 events. The Discover NHL Fountain Face-Off. The Las Vegas NHL 21 in 22. The Verizon Fastest Skater.
Good.
The Duncan NHL Save Streak. The EA NHL Hardest Shot. Adidas NHL Breakaway Challenge. Honda NHL Accuracy Shooting. Now, a lot of those you already know.
Mhm.
The accuracy, breakaway challenge, we've seen that. Hardest shot, we get it. Fastest skater, we get it. Save streak, we've had a couple save streak ones before.
Yeah, Save Streak it's actually underrated. I like it.
I think that's cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool idea.
Yeah.
The 2 that are the most interesting and are new just for Vegas
Ooh.
are the NHL Fountain Face-Off and the Las Vegas NHL 21 in 22. Let me run down what the NHL says these competitions are. First, the Fountain Face-Off. The competition takes place on the iconic Bellagio fountains. Players will travel by boat to the rink and are required to successfully shoot pucks into 5 targets in the least amount of time.
Oh.
Qualifying players move to the head-to-head final. Fountain spray and the breeze off of the strip will add to the challenge of this unprecedented NHL All-Star Skills event.
So this has the potential to be really great or really shitty.
Yeah.
Because if they miss everything, it's going to suck.
All they need is a GIF. They
Yeah.
need one GIF.
One GIF.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like UFC. Your entire card can be garbage, and if the main event ends with a finish, great card. Okay, there's potential there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Las Vegas NHL 21 in 22. Shutting down part of Las Vegas Boulevard to hang a full deck of oversized cards on a rack puts a new twist on street hockey.
Wait, well, okay. Start that again. What?
Shutting down part of Las Vegas Boulevard to hang a full deck of oversized cards on a rack puts a new twist on street hockey. 21 in 22 is a game of chance, strategy, and skill. The object of the game is to achieve a hand of 21 without going bust in the least number of shots. So they're playing blackjack.
So you're playing
The
blackjack
player
and
who
shooting.
wins 2 rounds is crowned Puck Shark. Oh.
Okay.
There's 5 players, 6 rounds maximum. First player who wins 2 rounds, a round is won by the player with the highest hand or is first to achieve 21. So I guess you're shooting the puck at the cards,
That
the
you want.
oversized cards that you want. So you're like aiming for the jack and the 10 to try and hit 21
Kind of like darts, in a way.
with the hockey and blackjack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like that they're shutting down Las Vegas Boulevard. This is why it should be in Vegas every year.
There's potential there. They need a hit.
Right.
They need a hit. Like Fastest Skater is, it's really cool. It's very cool, but it's not marquee. You know what I mean? They need a marquee event.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
Do you really care who the fastest skater is?
I find it interesting. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it's not marquee, and the accuracy.
Yeah.
They're all cool. We need our. I don't want to say our Vince Carter slam dunk competition moment because that ruined the slam dunk competition forever.
Yeah, because no one's ever been the same.
It's you just chase that moment forever, and they've been chasing it for 22 years now. But they need something where every year you're like, this is going to be fun. This is great. And you got the potential for someone to get extremely lucky.
Mhm.
Like they miss everything, but they just hit the 2 or 3 cards that they absolutely need. And then that adds intrigue for next year. There's potential here. I am always a fan of the NHL trying new things. I just hate when those new things fail, which they very often do. So let's go.
I think the playing blackjack in hockey has a chance to be a complete mess. Like that one to me more than the shooting pucks in a fountain, because that's just the St. Remember the St. Louis All-Star game where they're shooting off the stand? That's just the same thing except at the Bellagio fountain.
Right.
This blackjack thing has a chance to where nobody really knows what's happening and it's a complete mess and it looks like a failure. But we'll see.
It's also heavy on the broadcasters to do a good job explaining what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm sure they're working on the wording for that now.
Yeah.
Like the I think Steve Meyer is the guy that heads all this stuff up, and I know that they have to get very specific with the wording when they get into those promotions because there's the sponsor, and it's like the Honda, Taco Bell, McDonald's hardest shot competition brought to you by the new Big Mac. Remember, it's bigger. Like you have to remember all that shit, right? So they get that, they make sure that that's like all in there. I'm sure that whatever it is, it's going to be the most concise way you could possibly say it to introduce it. I'm interested to see here too. Like that's a great opportunity for the NHL, and I like that they're doing this, is to get outside the rink and do stuff and have different camera angles and really show off the city that they're in, which is great. And I still think they should do it in Vegas every year. I'm curious about is it going to be like when Vegas launched their team, or is it going to be like when Seattle launched their team? And what I have to say about that is like production values. Like Seattle, when they launched their team, it was cool for people from Seattle, right? It was. But the broadcast objectively wasn't great. It wasn't a great broadcast. It felt like a high school graduation that your mom sort of taped.
Okay, this is mean. You know what it felt like visually? A rib fest.
100%. Yeah.
It felt like Pickering rib fest.
Or like a lumberjack competition that's on Cable 10.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against how Seattle did it. It's just that the production values were there. When Vegas did it, it was lights, cameras, boom, boom, boom. Marc-Andre Fleury, Derek Engelland. And I hope here that they really make it into like an ESPN level spectacular. Like it's something the NFL would do, something the NBA would do.
They got to recruit locals here.
You think so?
Get Vegas to do a Vegas production.
Oh, I'm sure that they.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, because no one can do Vegas like Vegas.
And I'm sure they'll do Vegas celebs. There'll be a lot of gambling tie-ins and stuff like that. But
I'm positive Snoop Dogg will be there. He's everywhere. Him and Slash. Yeah, Snoop Dogg and Slash.
Does Slash go on broadcasts?
Maybe not hockey, but they're the two musical celebrities who are at absolutely everything.
That's true.
They announced Machine Gun Kelly is doing the intermission show.
No, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure if he's doing the pre-broadcast or the intermission. I forget which one.
I am, just as an aside.
Yeah.
You sometimes get obsessed with celebrity couples. I am obsessed with Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox.
Wow.
I want them to keep doing stuff.
I'm not.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, that's no.
You guys, listen, that tweet about like everything I've learned about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox has been against my will. Have you seen that tweet?
No.
No, but
and it's true, but they're like, I'm very, very excited for where this relationship inevitably blows up. It's going to be fantastic. Supernova level.
Zed, I think, is performing on the Friday.
That's cool.
Machine Gun Kelly's Saturday. So Zed's pretty big.
And Zed's got he's got a new album coming out.
I've never heard of that person my entire life.
Yes, you have. You've heard Clarity.
Clarity. Zed is one of the...
I might know the song.
Listen, he's one of the most... He's a DJ. He's one of the most prolific DJs in the world, too.
I believe you. I've never heard that name.
Really?
No.
You've never heard Zed?
Not once in my existence on Earth. No.
That's
I'm what? Maybe I'm showing my age. I'm positive.
You're not showing your age.
I'm positive I've heard their music.
Yeah. You know Zed song.
Yeah, but I've never been good with song names or artist names.
Did I tell you Zed made a documentary and I was in it?
I did know this.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
What? Steve doesn't know who Zed is.
Yeah.
So.
Zed's.
I gotta.
Here, how many Instagram followers does Zed have so we can prove to Steve?
Oh God, let me guess.
I'm thinking it's 25 million.
No.
You don't think so?
7.
7 million?
7
All right, I'm
million.
looking.
That's nothing. Who is that? Okay,
Zed.
so far he's a man.
7 million, you nailed it. Wow.
He's a man in a jacket.
Yeah.
He's about like 7 million Instagram followers famous.
Yeah.
He has a song with Selena Gomez.
He
Really?
dated Selena Gomez.
Did they date?
Yeah, and he was the one that came up with the remix for, remember the Squid Games remix? Like the, and it's like, rock with it. You know that song?
No.
You've seen it on
Oh,
TikTok.
God,
No.
Steve.
Everybody touch your head.
Oh, like he did that song?
Zed did the remix of that. He was the one that added the words to it.
Oh.
That part was
But-
from
but-
Squid Games. He took it and
Oh,
remixed it.
I know that song, but the Squid Game remix, I've never heard of that. I've never
You've
been
seen
to
it
that.
on TikTok.
I've
have.
never been to that
You've
corner
seen
of
it
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
Can we
Yeah.
pause the show so I can listen to a song?
No, it's not that important.
I can't believe this.
You made him up. It's a stunt for the show.
I remember.
You've heard I Want You to Know Selena Gomez. You've heard that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he Canadian?
No.
Then
Stop
there's-
appropriating our
there's a-
names.
There's a song called "Break Free" from Ariana
Mhm.
Grande. He did that.
Yeah.
"Stay" with Alessia Cara. He did "Clarity" with Foxes.
You've heard, Stay a million times
Yeah.
on Canadian radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll never go away ever again.
Here's
In fact-
Alessia Cara and Drake and Alessia Cara and Drake.
The Weeknd, The
Cruz
Weeknd, The
and
Weeknd.
Oh, The Weeknd,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And don't forget Bulo, who randomly works her way in there still.
Every now and then they're like Belly. I'm like, ah!
But then it's featuring The Weeknd.
The world's most famous Sens fan.
Yeah.
Belly.
So anyway, Zed is a big get for them. That's great.
I believe you.
And a little less divisive than Kid Rock a couple of years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Or Green Day, who lays it on a little too thick.
Yeah. Like I know they're a punk band, and I get why people love Green Day, but sometimes you're right. You're like it's like Billy Joe. You're 48. You're
Yeah.
not like fuck the establishment. I got 50 million in the bank.
No,
Like-
but it's hilarious that they do this partnership with Green Day, and it's like, oh, they swear sometimes, but then he's like, motherfucking sup, welcome to the fucking All-Star game, motherfuckers. There's all these 8-year-olds like, Dad, why is My Chemical Romance swearing at me? And that's not My Chemical Romance, son.
I'm a little
who taught you
disappointed.
Why?
What?
In the musical?
I was really hoping they'd get the Arkells.
Listen, if it was in Canada, they would have got the Arkells. Okay, they may only exist in Canada.
I wish they could have got the
They'll
Arkells.
be in Dubas's box.
They will.
So
They
they're
will.
friends.
And Nick Nurse will be there with a guitar, like I'm here.
Hey, me too.
Yeah.
I
And you know who won't be? Malachi Flynn. He hates him. I don't know.
Malachi Flynn hates the Arkells.
No,
No,
Nick Nurse, he just won't play.
referencing
yeah,
a very deep cut of Nick
Oh,
Nurse
'cause
not
How is
playing
that
Malachi.
deep cut?
because his dad
It's a
doesn't like.
very common gripe of Raptors fans. I'm having a great show.
I remember Nick Jonas did it one year too. I remember that,
He did,
and I
yes.
remember Jesse and I went into our
Never
boss-
heard of that person in my entire life.
Yeah, no, we're not going into his resume.
Sure.
Jesse and I went into our boss's office at KISS, and our boss was like, "Yeah, so he can't sing, eh?"
Wow.
And we're like, "Not really."
No.
We heard him on tour though. Jesse and I were at the box with Virgin Radio,
That's so mean.
and we brought listeners, and they were the Jonas Brothers were spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
They were amazing.
His
Like,
voice has improved.
very much so. Very much so.
Yes.
Very much so. It was that concert was wild. I've never heard screams like that ever in my life. And I've seen a lot of acts. I've seen New Kids. I've seen Backstreet Boys. People that you would scream at. Was Ariana Grande even that loud? You went to that one.
Oh, Ariana Grande. Oh, she treats her performances like everyone's there to see her. You know, she knows that everyone's there to see her.
Okay, what do you mean by this?
She doesn't tend to perform. She does a lot of standing there and singing. But the screams were very loud from the people.
No, because they're there for the IG photo.
Exactly.
No, and you know why she stands still?
Mhm.
Portrait mode. You gotta hold it.
Okay.
Portrait mode. You gotta get a good one.
She has. She doesn't like being compared to Mariah Carey, but when she's on stage, she has the Mariah Carey era around her. You know, she knows everybody's there for her, and she doesn't need to do much to entertain the crowd.
I want to talk to you guys about something that happened last week.
Oh boy.
We named our episode this, and it pissed a lot of people off.
Oh.
What?
One of our episodes last week was called Bad on Accident.
Yeah.
To the grammatically inclined among us, bad by accident is how you say it. Now, I could have said that during the thing, and I was thinking it, but I was like, I don't care. I know what they mean. And I just wanted to know, Steve and Jesse, if you had a response to those in our comment section who are like, Steve and Jesse, You guys are grown men and you don't know this. What the hell is wrong with you?
So I do know this, but I knew it would upset people. So I deliberately, like we talked, we're like, should we make it bad by accident?
Hey, that's the joke.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was like, call it bad by accident. And then I think you might have been like, no. Bad on accident.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're absolutely right, Jesse. Bad on accident is way funnier.
I say bad on accident all the time in my regular life.
Just trying to enrage the people.
Also, the most common piece of feedback, Gila River Arena
Oh, yeah.
and Tempe.
Timpy.
I had no idea until people said that.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Timpy.
Gila River I
Not-
might have known. But Tempe
Gila
I did
River.
not know.
Mm-hmm.
Gila River Arena, Tempe. It's okay. I mean, they'll be gone soon. So, dude, that's so.
At least
bad.
we said Arizona State University correctly, because that's where they're playing.
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I think somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, in Tucson, where the Roadrunners play, it's 10,000."
It's Tuscan.
No, it's not.
It's Tuscan.
Tucson.
It's Tuscan or
It's
Arizona.
not Tuscan. I just thought.
It's named after Tuscany, like York and New York.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a lot of Italians.
Very similar there, for sure. I just thought it was interesting that, like, there's no, like, Arizona State, huh? Like, that's it? That's all you got?
Like for the arena?
Yeah. Anyway.
Dude, just, I don't know. You know me. Like, I'm very optimistic with that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Give up. Give up, it's over.
Hey, how about some resolutions? Like cleaning up down there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes a messy down there. How about you shine? How about you deodorize? How about you crop dust? All of those things are available when you go to manscaped.com and use your 20% off code, and that code is DANGLE. It's the Performance Package 4.0, where you can find the Signature Lawnmower 4.0, the electric trimmer designed to trim hair on loose skin. The advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks to your delicate areas. It also comes equipped with a 4,000K LED spotlight, so you can light it up. And also you can see what you're doing. And your grooming routine cannot be complete without applying the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. Before showing off your 2022 self, you must revive and preserve. These unique formulations take care of the parts of your body that can get a little sweaty. And you can be confident that when you're showing that part of your body off, it'll smell great. To complete your set, Manscaped also throws in a nice travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs just as free gifts because they like you. So remember, when you need to clean up down there, you go to manscaped.com and use that code DANGLE. 20% off and free shipping. Look after them. What are they? Balls. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/SDP. The best way to think about therapy basically is I would say working out, but for your brain. And for your body to function, your brain's got to be in shape. That's why I go to therapy, and that's why you should check out BetterHelp, because here's the thing. You can do the in-person thing. You can do it over the phone. You can even do it over chat. It's completely up to you. It's whatever you're comfortable with, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. You invest in stocks. You invest in your body. Why are you not investing in your mind as well? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and if you go to betterhelp.com/SDP, you'll get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. So betterhelp.com/SDP to get 10% off your first month, and good mental health to you. Olympics start at the end of the week this week, and we've got some announcements on Wednesday about how you can get your recaps and that sort of thing with the SDPN without giving too much away. Also, I want to say, just kind of looking over things this weekend, the amount of outpouring and support for the Noxie and Cax show has been amazing.
Wonderful. Really wonderful.
And if we can, for a second, I think it was obviously something we were very excited about. And I know it was obviously something the PWHPA was excited about. Noxie and Cax were pumped. The fans were excited. The sponsor was excited. We're a team.
Yes. Very good.
But I don't think that they, especially Noxie and Cax, I don't think that they were expecting this.
Not at all.
What did they tell you?
They said that exactly themselves. They didn't realize how welcoming and how large the SDPN fan base was, and they were just blown away by the support and everything they received on Wednesday, or I guess the announcement was last Monday. So it would have been like Monday through that whole week in the first show. They had no idea that the reaction would be like that, and they were just blown away.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. Their first show with Ratty is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the oldest rookie Olympian since Nagano. It's amazing.
She was great, really good storyteller, and everyone was comfortable. And like for Noxie and Cax to do their first show with little to no experience and do it remote and have it go as well as they did, we confidently with that same level of experience under those circumstances would have done a worse show.
Easily. Yeah.
Dude, they're really good.
Well, we go back, if we listen to our shows from 13 or 14, it's like, kind of go, oh, thank God we were in the same room. And I got to tell you, like, it may not seem like much, and you're probably used to watching people do this remotely, but the difference, and I think there were people that commented on the difference about, we were remote for 18 months, guys?
Too long.
Way too long. The difference between that and this is enormous. Even if you don't see it on the screen, for us, the comfort level is insane.
It was the first episode back was riding a bike.
Right.
I was just like, oh my God, this is so much easier.
CJ and Julian said the same thing when they were in the room for the first time in this room for their first show together. It's completely different energy. And as much as they love doing it on Zoom, they wish every time they do their show that they could be together in the same room.
And Julian, I don't know if you know this because he's super chill on the show, but man, is that guy fun. He's a fucking riot. Like, he's a riot.
Energizer.
I think it comes across in the show. I hope it does.
Yeah, I always find him, like, when I listen to him, I'm like, I'm chill. But, like, when I went out for beers with him and Chris, and I'm like, oh, my God, I could get into a lot of trouble with Julian McKenzie. Like, he's amped all the time, and I'm like, I could feed off this all night. This would be great.
He's a little bit like me where he has to hide it. He's got to hide it, and he puts it on, and I'm here to host the show.
I'm a professional.
But the second you crack him with something he's really passionate about, here we go, and you feel the buildup inside him when he's hulking up and throws you over the top rope.
And maybe if you're in July, if you're in Montreal, you might get a chance to feel that energy live in person with a whole bunch of people from some network that has a bunch of shows, including Julian and CJ and some other people.
Who could that be, I wonder?
There's a draft in Montreal. Maybe we all get together. We do something there with a lot of the public. I don't know. Just throwing things out there.
Anyway. Hey, I got a question for you, speaking of Montreal. At this point, do you want Carey Price back? Or do you just say, Carey, take the season? Because here's two ways it could go. First way is it's a feel-good story. That team could really use one. I mean, you saw it. I don't know if you saw this, but the Jeff Petry's wife tweeted out this weekend that she's getting abusive DMs. Like, people are like, I just wish your husband would play with pride. I'm like, it's Jeff Petry. He always does. He is the pride of Montreal.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean people aren't idiots. Do you say, Carey, listen, you've had a tough go this year. You had injuries. We rode you all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. You were amazing. Take the whole year. Let that body heal. Do all the rehab, all the like body rehab you need to do. Get everything sorted out because next year we're coming back.
What does body rehab look like, Adam?
Well, it's like this. This is how I do it.
It's like
my body rehab.
Hybrid.
I'm trying to move.
I like that. No,
because here's my fear.
I understand.
He comes back. The team's awful, and he doesn't look that good. That said, he's like the last remaining hope. To me, I want him carrying over to the next season.
I don't think if he came back and performed poorly, like as long as he stayed physically healthy, mentally healthy too, I think that's a victory. Getting him on the ice, playing games, I think that's a victory. I think it would go to the legs of the Montreal Canadiens, who underratedly, to start a lot of games recently, haven't actually been that bad, but every puck goes in.
Yes.
Every puck goes in, and it's not fair. Sam Montembeault,
609 save percentage?
I don't remember who it was, but Sam Montembeault is somewhat like Michael Hutchinson in that he can play spot work as a third goalie. He's probably not best suited to play this many games. And Caden Primo, who's got all this potential, I could tell in the preseason, I'm like, okay, maybe down the line, but he's not ready at all. and it's just throwing them to the wolves.
Yes, it is.
And Jake Allen's hurt. Some Habs fans got a little offended yesterday when I was tweeting about, like, Jesus, like, I know the new management group is evaluating, but at what point does pride factor into it? I mean, I don't think it's good for the team at all to keep losing games the way they're losing it. They've won 2 games since November 29th. One of them was in the shootout. Like, guys, don't worry about the Coyotes. Don't worry about the Coyotes. They're gonna pass you. They're gonna blow by you at this rate. I think it's only a difference of 1 point now. But you know what the Coyotes have is goaltending.
Sam Montembeau let in 9 goals on his last 23 shots for a sparkling .609 save percentage over 2 games.
Yeah, that's in
your head.
No, that's a collaborative effort, is what that is. That's
because they don't play defense.
Yeah, no, I think you could put in any AHL goalie, they'll give you at least a 700. Like that's the defense in front of you playing like shit.
This is Andrew from last night. Scoring chances are 6-5. High danger chances 3-1. Both in favor of Montreal, and they're losing 4-1. They haven't got a save.
Shit.
That was just midway through the game. By the way, that I think is unfortunately for Andrew, and gladly joined by one of the other hardest working guys in media, Avery, last night.
Yeah.
One of their best stream shows because of that. Like sometimes when you're on a losing skid like this, there are certain losses that really drive the nail home, right? If you put Carey Price out there, guys, is it worth the injury risk? This team's already not playing a lot of defense. Yes, they can't get a save, but I'm wondering, I'm concerned about the amount of pucks he would face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Carey Price isn't going to give you 60%.
He's going to give you 100.
Yeah.
I think that's why you put him in.
Okay.
Because I can't imagine, especially if he's going to games now, which I think he is, I can't imagine this is easy for him.
No.
Just sitting there and watching this crap. He wants to play. You got to clear him, and then on top of clearing him, I think you got to give him another month or something like that. But even if you were to tweak something, it's February.
Mm-hmm.
You need an answer on Carey Price. I don't think you can go into next season having seen 0 games.
Does feel like they've been waiting on him, right?
Yeah, well, like it cannot. Put it this way, I feel like it can't be the Habs' decision if he ends up playing 0 games.
Yeah.
If he plays 0 games, it's because he can't, and that's fine. If you can't, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But
by the way, David Savard is out 8 weeks with an ankle injury. That
for
sounds
God's sake,
like that's a high ankle sprain for sure.
Yeah, like man.
So Carey Price comes out yesterday in the press conference and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst case scenario is, are there seeds being planted that Carey Price never plays again? Because he was asked the question. Because the press conference was held yesterday because his knee injury took him back to ground zero, to where he was in the summer, and the rehabilitation has to restart completely. So that was the update, right? So they come out. Somebody in Eric Engels' article on it yesterday, somebody asked him, could it lead to you never playing again? Price responded, you never know. That's not, it was never a definitive no. There's a chance he never plays again, and it'd be a shame if that happens, but it's certainly a possibility. Like, we're sitting here talking about him playing this season. We might never see him play in any season if the knee is that bad, if it just keeps going like this, where it's just setback after setback. Because how often do we hear, hey, somebody gets injured they get surgery in the summer, and now it's January, and they're back to where they were in the summer after surgery, and now the rehabilitation is taken all over. It's been a very difficult journey for Carey Price, and I don't know if he's back on the ice this season or any season.
If you're Kent Hughes, how do you evaluate this?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question mark in the entire league.
I think you have to evaluate what you have, obviously. And clearly they need a backup.
Not a ton.
I mean, they need something. They're going to need.
You know what they. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You know what they sort of need? And this is it's a hot button topic when it comes to Brian Burke's history with the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they were garbage and obviously not making the playoffs and selling off assets and everything, and he went out and got Martin Gerber?
Yeah.
and he wore a black mask. and
Yeah,
they
I
called
remember
him
that.
Darth Gerber, and yeah, but because it was disgraceful before they got him. They couldn't stop a beach ball. It was disgraceful, and then they got him, and it's not like they were great, and they could have kept tanking and everything. This was another criticism I got yesterday. Oh, I bet you weren't saying this when it was the Leafs tanking for Matthews. The Leafs.
You were saying please tank.
Well, I was saying please tank, but dude, they had 29 wins. They were 29, 42, and 11 with 69 points.
Were they not the best last place team finish ever?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
They only finished last by like 1 or 2 points. Arizona had 70 or 71. The McEichel Sabres, which were so stripped bare that they are arguably still recovering from it, had 54 points. The disaster Colorado Avalanche, who also couldn't get a save, pulled off 47 points. And everything went wrong for them as well. The Habs are currently on pace for 43, I'm pretty sure. And the comparison was used. Yeah, well, now the Avalanche are a powerhouse. Dude, they didn't have this much money committed. They didn't have Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, you can't just blanks. You can't just do that.
No,
They're completely different organizations.
I'd be more willing to accept that comparison if Nick Suzuki was still unsigned. Because what happened is Nathan McKinnon had the worst season of his career, signs a long-term deal that is half of what he should currently be making. And there you go. You can ride that salary structure for the next half decade. They signed Nick Suzuki to an extension this past summer. So that's out the window. I mean, you might get a little discount on Caulfield, other guys.
Just to give you the numbers, the Red Wings in 1920 had a 275 points percentage. The Avalanche of 1670 had a 293 points percentage. And the Montreal Canadiens currently have a 261 points percentage.
Ooh.
And
So they're the worst team of the salary cap era.
Yeah, but the other thing with that Red Wings team you mentioned is they were, as close to point shaving as you can. Like,
Yeah, they.
Disgraceful. They had young guys who were good, and Yzerman protected them, almost all of them in Grand Rapids. They also couldn't get a save.
So that means it's worse for the Habs.
Yes,
Because those teams were trying to lose, and this team doesn't look like they're trying to lose, but they're even worse.
No, and listen, you can point to the COVID situation. You can point to players are miserable because of a lockdown situation that they didn't anticipate having to return to. It's not so easy to prepare for Carey Price not being able to play. And they did have a contingency plan named Jake Allen, and he got hurt. And then they went out and got Montembeault, and it's not worked out. Weber, listen, I understand it's a nightmare of a season, but fans are going to return to that building, and they're not going to tolerate this shit.
No, well, let me run you through who's on the long-term injury reserve is Shea Weber, so that's $7.8 million. Then you've got $20 million just on the normal injured reserve with Drouin, Dvorak, Savard, Edmondson, Allen, and Perreault. And then non-roster players who are in COVID protocol as of today, Yoel Armia and Cole Caulfield as well. So you got about $34 million wrapped up in just injuries. So that's going to take your team. By the way, the Montreal Canadiens, their total cap hit is $93 million. Without, obviously injured reserve and all that stuff.
And
but
the
the total amount of salaries that they're paying is $93 million. Put that into context, Toronto's paying $81. So for anybody who's mad at Tampa for paying whatever they paid, just know that it can go both ways. The knife can cut both ways. You can have bad contracts, you can have injuries.
Go look at the roster for the Leafs' final 20 games from 15-16.
Ooh.
Bro,
No, that's
fucking
was it
awful.
Nylander wearing number 39 or something like that. That's when he got his first goal.
So they had some of the kids up, but who scored at half a point a game for them? Colin Greening. And they had guys like oh god, what the hell is his name? I don't even remember the guy's name. Fuck, I can't even remember his name. Forget it. Byron Fraze, who was playing in the top six.
Yeah.
And was Joey Crabb there, and Garrett Sparks was like the 1A, and
Yep.
dude, this is I'm all this to say, yes, what the Habs are being subjected to in terms of obstacles is unusual.
Yep.
This level of futility is equally unusual.
It's a wild one.
Like the Coyotes, like they're not having a great time. The
No.
Coyotes.
No.
There are very few, but like Sabres fans have higher morale right now.
So
They do, because there's things to look forward to.
Canadiens fans feel better about that because it's unprecedentedly bad.
Okay. So sorry.
Yeah.
What they should take solace in is this is a one-off. This will not happen again.
Right.
Next year, not a chance. Will they be great? I don't know, but they're not going to be this bad. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. But half of the season remains. This can't happen. So
What do you mean it can't happen?
if they double the amount of wins, they'll have 16
yeah,
between now and the end of the season.
that's very possible.
What I'm saying is some human being to stand in front of the puck at all would be an enormous
What if it
victory
doesn't
for them.
happen? It's
Then
very
they're-
possible
then-
it doesn't happen.
Then they're going to ice the worst product the league has seen in 30 years.
And
That's a shame for one of the best fan bases in the sport.
Now let's talk about Edmonton.
also follow up. Who do you blame?
Oh, God. But like,
Mostly God. On that one.
mostly God, but
Okay,
like,
mostly I can't even blame Bergevin for that.
no, like, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, who has
Who has $34 million sitting on injured reserve?
Well, and just starting with, oh yeah, by the way, no Weber, no Price. What's the timetable? It's possibly never for both. Like, yeah, that's a wild place to start. It's a wild place to start. And so many guys having like catastrophic seasons based on what you'd expect from them. Petrie being one of them, Caulfield being one of them. There's no good news. Arturi Lehkonen. There you go.
It's all bad, and there's no one to blame. Good.
Yeah, that's
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
but fuck this. If a goalie goes on waivers, claim them. Don't even check their license. Like, just claim them. I don't care what their name is. Claim them. They should have claimed Aaron Dell. Seriously,
Yeah, why not?
and let him sit for those 3 suspended games.
Somebody else can get injured.
tie him to the goalpost if you have to. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's rough. It's
Yeah,
rough.
like to protect Caden Primo. Like, get anyone.
So the Oilers come out and they obviously destroy Montreal.
Oh, they sure did.
And you get goals from Evander Kane.
Mm-hmm.
You've got you're able to run McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins on separate lines.
Gross.
Gross, right?
It's weird that thing that everyone said would worked. It's very strange.
Well, I mean, the weird thing about it was, so they said they were finally able to do that, and I thought, okay, but they could have always done that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like they can.
Well, yes, that's the thing. They feel more comfortable because they have more depth on the wings. But God, guys, like, try it. It just feels like they've tried it so seldomly
Right.
over the last 2-3 years that people have been screaming.
So Kane, McDavid, Yamamoto, Fogle, Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Cassian. That wouldn't be a fun line to play against.
No, not at all.
And then Devin Shore, Ryan McLeod, Derek Ryan. And of course, it was Montreal, so a little bit of a different test the next time they take the ice. But
No, they get their cookies. I think that's 4 straight for them. Good first game for new signing, Evander Kane. That's a good win for your mental health.
And the difference has been Mikko Koskinen.
Yeah, bud. Regression. It's fun.
He's been playing really well. Last 3 games, 933, 926, 936. That's great goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't start over the weekend, I don't think, but his last 3 games he played.
I think Stuart Skinner got the one over Montreal.
Yeah, because you don't need to start a professional goalie versus that team.
Dude. No, you don't. He allowed 5 goals against the Sens in a game last year, and the Oilers won 8-5. Like,
Oh,
yeah, man.
wow.
It's tragic up here. Man, the Canadian teams can't be this bad.
So
I know the Oilers are Canadian.
As of today, 500 people can attend home games for the Leafs and the Raptors in Ontario. I believe openings will happen more and more over the course of the February, March. I know they said mid-March we're expecting to have full stadiums again. The other thing is,
I think they're moving all that up.
Oh, I think so too. So here's the thing. So this is what's so interesting from the Canadian perspective, because obviously everybody up here has been watching. If you're from America, we've all been watching you going.
It's like a movie.
How do you do it?
It's like how all Netflix shows like incorporated COVID at first, like with masks, and then they just stopped doing that.
Yeah, because
they're like, no one wants to watch this.
No one wants to watch COVID drama. Thank you very much.
What's
We're all done.
What's the Bryan Cranston show?
Your Honor.
Your Honor. At the end of Your Honor, the last 2 episodes, they're like, okay, all of a sudden, everybody's gonna be wearing masks in the courthouse.
Yeah.
And it's COVID.
That show was intense, by the way.
Oh, great show.
I stopped watching by the end because I was like, my heart.
It's too much stress. It's so much stress.
Finish it?
No.
Oh man, you got to
finish it.
It hurt my heart too much.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's good.
It's really good.
Why I bring this up is, and I'm going to present this without comment because I've got my own opinions on it. I've said it before. But what Toronto Public Health and Ontario Public Health have both said in the last week is we are going to now have to live with COVID and handle it as though we would handle the flu.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not to say that COVID is the flu or conflate the two or whatever, but we now have to learn to live with it. Because the whole thing in Ontario was, well, we got COVID zero. We're going to eradicate COVID.
And we tried.
And we didn't.
We tried.
Well, yeah, but there was no way that was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
There was no way that was ever possible, even with vaccines. It was never going to happen. So now, with that in play, and them saying that publicly, because it's not just the politicians that are saying it, it's the doctors that are saying it. Right. So now we can actually probably look at maybe a little bit of the end of the tunnel here. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at more games at home. I know that the Leafs have been playing 2 games a week for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that once the All-Star game ends, that's when we get into like crazy town, right? With the scheduling?
Yeah. The Leafs have 2 home games right before when they're going to go to half capacity. And I have a sneaking theory. I haven't heard anything, but I have a sneaking theory that both those games will get half capacity. I think they'll move it up.
Yeah?
You're talking about the Penguins and Blues on the 17th and 19th?
Yes. I want to say it's the 24th or in there. It's somewhere in the 20s it goes to half capacity.
Okay, so it'd be the 24th versus the Wild. When they redid the schedule, what was it, like 2 weeks ago or whatever, they strategically packed all the Canadian home dates towards the end of February and into March because they knew there'd be some restrictions in here. And we've talked about this before, but just the money lost.
Insane.
Each game, $3.5 million just out the door for the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise. It's a lot lesser for like Ottawa at $600K or whatever. And Montreal, I think it's 1.5. But just millions and millions of dollars each day. Like that's got to affect how you're planning the summer. It's probably not going to affect player salaries at all because, you're the Leafs, you got to spend it all. But just organizationally, if you lose $3 million 10 times over the span of a month, that hurts.
Well, think about it, though. A couple months ago, like an oasis in the desert, they're like, we're going to raise the cap from 81.5 to 82.5. And Dubas is under that faucet, like, just with his tongue out. Just please, give me $1 million. And he didn't get it, did he?
No. He's gonna get his money from Kessel off the books, though.
Oh, hooray!
Yeah.
That's this year.
And I think the NHL is gonna go pling and flick him a nickel, and he might, the cap might go up by like $250,000
before the restrictions, though. The NHL was on pace to make more money than they were going to make in 2019, coming out of the 18-19. No, but okay, so let's put it into perspective here. They were going to make $5.2 billion. 5.1 was the previous record. Okay. $5.2 billion. Even if you lose out on 20 or 30 million bucks here, because maybe it's more. A, you could probably make that back up in sponsorships by the end of the season. B, I still feel like you'll be able to, I think rationally, you should be able to raise the salary cap at that point.
I hope so.
Okay, so it's it's 5 point something million, right? 5.2 million, I believe. $5.2 billion dollars, okay? Let's say in the last month they've lost $100 million. That still puts them at the exact same pace they were at in 18-19. The new TV deals have kicked in.
I think it's a lot more.
But you could sell more shit. Come on, you can make that money back.
Hopefully they do well at the All-Star game.
And they've saved a ton of home games for the Canadian teams. I feel like this cap is going to go up at least $1 million. It's got to. And I know the players owe the owners, quote unquote. You know, there's like a huge payment that it needs to be made there, but I don't know.
I think at some point Kyle Dubas is going to walk into his office and it's going to be dark and he's going to have his hands full. He's got his little binder and he's got his coffee and he's fumbling for the light switch and he finally flicks it on. And sitting in his chair, once he flicks the light on, is going to be Gary Bettman facing his giant marker board, staring at the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he's going to go, Kyle, is this fucking team going to win a round?
Yeah, that would help.
And
that would help.
Dubas's answer better be yes, sir, because for the health of the league, forget Leaf fans.
Yep.
Forget me. Forget all the people who whine about, oh, God, it's been so gosh darn long.
Yeah.
For the financial health of the league, win a round. Win 2. Blow all our minds and win 4. And watch the cap go up by $60 million. And all of a sudden, the Leafs won back-to-back cups. The NHL's cap would be higher than the NBA's. Like, holy shit! For all of us! Win! Once! 2004? God!
This is all Bettman. You're quoting Bettman, right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm quoting Gary Bettman.
Okay.
Canadian teams in a playoff spot right now.
1.
2, I think, now.
Calgary just snuck in.
Oh, it's Calgary.
It's Calgary and Toronto.
Calgary needs to be in the damn playoffs.
Markstrom's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, I know we all look at the NHL and say they're biased towards like the Sun Belt teams and they want them to succeed. Like Bettman should, again, it's him. It's got to be a campaign of sabotage. He's got to go in there and crack like every stick in the Ducks locker room. Like just run rampage. Who's in the Pacific Division? Oh, friggin' he's throwing all the LA Kings equipment in the dumpster. He's putting clear tape on all the St. Louis Blues skates. Like, guys, holy crap! We need a little bit of if we can get the Leafs and then a Battle of Alberta in there.
Oh,
let's go.
How do we get a Battle of Alberta in there though?
2-3 in the Pacific.
The Pacific's weak. They can do it.
They can do it because you're not going to get the top. That's going to be Vegas. It's so you got to get 2-3 Pacific.
Okay, everybody should be hoping for that.
Yes. Is your team a cap team? Okay, well, go Leafs, go then. All of you.
And
all
go
of
Rangers.
You, go Leafs, go.
And go Rangers, and go Boston. Yeah.
Hey, Rangers fans. Go Rangers. Go Leafs. Hey, Flyers fans. I'm sorry. Also, go Leafs. You know, who else is at the, hey, Vegas? Fucking, go Leafs, go with Sparkles.
When do we revisit our preseason predictions?
You know what? Why not Wednesday?
Ideally, never.
Do we wait till closer to the playoffs when we have the actual picture?
I like a halfway mark and then at the end of the playoffs.
Yeah, Adam's
All
right.
We're at the All-Star break.
All right, let's do it Friday then.
Friday?
Friday's the All-Star break, right?
Okay.
So
Beauty. Let's do it Friday.
Yeah, let's revisit
It's
that.
it's on the SDPN Instagram if you want to. And by the way, you should follow SDPN.
Hey,
I think those are based off of, what you texted me beforehand, and I think a couple of them changed differently on the show.
Well, Steve's did because he forgot all his homework.
Yeah, because Steve...
And we're like, Steve, did you put out an email? He's like, no, I just wrote it up in a Microsoft Word and didn't send it to myself.
And you didn't rank them or something.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know we were ranking during the ranking
put them in
segment.
each position.
I did not understand the assignment.
You picked the playoff teams, but you didn't rank the actual division in each case.
I ended up doing it.
Yeah, you did it live on the
you did
show.
it on the fly.
Yeah.
I love you. And then so Jesse asked CJ and Julian, hey, can I get your picks? And Chris just sent 4 teams, and he's like, and then Jesse posted, and Chris is like, I did not understand that assignment.
No, none of us did.
CJ just did the division winners.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
Steve got very quiet during that.
I sure did.
It was funny, man. It's funny. It's you. That's what we love about you.
Very funny. It was very funny. I had a paper and a lot of scribbles.
You did. But you know what? You did great. You did great today.
Except for the Islanders.
Yeah, the Islanders won. Okay, but who saw that?
No one.
Not us.
No one. Like, I understand top in the division might have been a bit high for a team that's more known for playoff success, but Jesus.
I also think, I don't know who the free agents are this year, and maybe I should check that out right now, but your free agents going into this season,
Kessel.
if you are a goal scorer, you got, Gino.
Yes.
Gino, you got PK, you got Claude Giroux, Phil Kessel, Patrick Laine. But Patrick Laine, I believe, is a RFA. If you can score goals, I would expect you're going to get a call from the Islanders. And one thing I would say is that the Islanders absolutely will pay for goal scoring because we've seen Lou do it. Look what he paid for Kovalchuk.
Hey,
if you can get one guy who can score. Oh,
hey,
Nas!
You feel like shaving again?
Yeah. Ooh, and he played well for Lou.
I don't see that happening.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Mm-mm. There's some rumors about Pittsburgh, I heard. I think it was Friedman.
With who?
Nas.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No. I mean, well, then are they walking away from Gino? How the hell are they fitting that?
It's a good question.
I wonder if there is any desire from Kadri to be the guy. Which sounds like a bold thing to say about a guy on pace for like 113 points. But, I mean, let's be honest.
He's never done it quite like this.
It's Nathan McKinnon. Like, that's the guy.
Sure.
Could he go to a team and be the guy? Or be a really well-compensated 2C on a powerhouse? Which is what he is right now.
Like, if you can't sign Gino, Nas is the guy.
It could be a very good move.
And
you know who would know Nas?
Who drafted him?
The guy who drafted him, Brian Burke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both came to the same conclusion there, bud. Yep. And a guy who can score, a guy who's got a lot of bit of fuck you. Yeah. Oh man.
I hate it.
I miss him a lot.
I miss him too. It had to be done. I maintain that. I don't regret it. But boy, I wish that had been a better trade.
I don't regret it, but boy, do I.
I think this offseason will be kind of fascinating because from what I'm seeing, it's not great. It's okay. It's not great.
We'll see.
So no, in terms of like what's available, you got good RFAs. Like obviously Line 8. I bet you could try to sign, and Columbus may not match that.
I wonder if we got a little bit of 2016 vibes. We're gonna get a bunch of shitty deals.
Well, okay.
So really bad.
So here's what you got in UFA. You've got Malkin Subban, excuse me, Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux is still worth a good amount of money, I would think. Phil Kessel, who is not having the best year, but he's on the worst team in the NHL. Laine, who's not having a great year. Letang, who's having a fantastic year.
Yep.
Who's coming off making 7.5 or 7.2? No, 7.250. So Joel Pavelski is 37, and he's got 48 points in 42 games.
A lot of old guys.
Matt Tkachuk is an RFA. I wonder if that one goes all summer. I wonder if somebody makes him an offer.
I think it could be a big summer for trades, especially if the cap doesn't go up.
Patrice Bergeron is a UFA. Mark Giordano, Johnny Gaudreau, Radulov, Kotkaniemi is an RFA. Remember that? Philip Forsberg is UFA. So you've got Brock Besser is an RFA. You've got Thomas Hertel is a UFA. Like there's some good names.
Haven't we passed the date where the Hurricanes can extend Kotkaniemi?
Is there a date that you can?
Yeah. So when they got him from the Habs, they had to wait X amount of months before they could sign him.
Can they sign him now? Yes, they can sign him now. Yeah. The question is, do they want to? I mean, he's played okay. 20 points, 42 games.
There's stuff. There's options.
Things.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, this is interesting. This will be a very interesting year. And Josh Manson. Hey, by the way, the Leafs are linked to Josh Manson. Then they've been linked to a few other defensemen. Is he the best available? I mean, and Calvin Hahn, let's not forget.
Yeah. Manson is a good right-handed defenseman who's got an element of FU, which is exactly what the Leafs need, and they should be willing to pay any price for it.
What would you be willing to pay?
Oh boy. at all costs. Okay, here's who's off the board. You cannot touch this player. Toby Niemela.
Okay.
Cannot touch that player. I know he's undersized, and you got Morgan Riley signed forever, and he's probably going to control the power play. Well, no, not forever. And the Leafs could absolutely... You know who would be the Leafs' second best defenseman on the right side right now? Sean Durzi. And they had to give him up in order to get Jake Muzzin.
I would argue that was worth it.
Yeah, necessary evil there.
Yep.
But they can't have that situation happen again.
Okay.
So at this point, you're digging into. You got to look at your prospects and go, who's fully protected. The problem is a lot of the Leafs' best prospects as trade chips don't have high value right now. Rodion Amirov has spent most of the season injured. Nick Robertson has spent almost all of the season injured.
And last season,
right? So, you're looking at a Roni Hirvonen.
What about that first round pick?
Yeah, I'd do it. Well, and especially...
Trade another first round pick to the Ducks?
If I get a guy with term, I don't even think about it.
Manson doesn't have term. He's a UFA.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. But also the Ducks are going to want something in return because... they're a playoff team, and it looks like they're going to remain one. So if they have aspirations of that, you're going to want someone who can plug up that hole on the right side. Might I suggest a potential for Justin Hall? More realistically, Travis Dermott. And it's going to have to include probably picks, and I wonder if there could be a bigger deal if you include Kerfoot.
And for who?
Like, who else do I want from the Ducks? I haven't really looked.
Okay. My question is, why did the Ducks want to do this deal? If in fact the rumors are true, why did they want to do this deal?
They're
going to the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're a small market team who can't afford to lose players for nothing, which is exactly what they're going to do with Josh Manson. So they got to get value for him.
Interesting.
I think it's a smart way of looking at things, right? Like, do you really think you're going to make it out of the first or second round? Are you going to make it out of the Pacific Division? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if I'm the Ducks, I'm going, probably not. We're going to be fun, but probably not.
Okay. Interesting.
That's what I've talked myself into. That's what I'm hoping. They can't go into the first round without an upgrade on defense. Like, I know we're talking about they can't win April games in January. If they don't bother watching. Like,
come on.
No, I'm serious.
Oh my God.
Dude, they need it so bad.
I agree, but don't bother watching. A little aggressive.
Yeah, you can't go 100 the other side.
They're not comparable to Florida. They're not comparable to Tampa.
Well, they don't have to play both of them at the same time.
No, but
one at a time.
You also just got to get lucky 4 times.
I mean, can they beat Boston? I think the answer is yes in 6, no in 7. How are they going to do? Carolina. I mean, the first meeting between them was pretty bad. Rangers, maybe. Listen, what I'm saying is they're good.
They are good.
This team is good.
And they're worth upgrading for.
And they're worth watching. And they're worth upgrading for. But, dude, it's the defensive situation is arguably more dire than last year because while they played better for a big chunk of this year, Muzzin hasn't looked right, and neither is Hall. Hall is arguably playing his best hockey of the season right now.
The defense wasn't a problem in the playoffs last year. We can't forget the plot where it was nobody scored when they needed a goal.
Yeah.
That's what lost them that series versus Montreal.
We had stars that, Matthews and Marner had a goal between them.
That's true.
Like, we're blaming the defense this year, but that's not what happened in the playoffs.
They could actually, fundamentally, you could say, the way they're scoring, if this keeps up, they could outscore any problem.
Yeah.
If this keeps up.
Yeah.
And normally it doesn't in the playoffs. I grant you that. But I think the offense this year, barring some ridiculous head injury to John Tavares, which obviously affected the offense last year, I think the depth is better this year.
Yes,
all
100%.
the way through the lineup. Like, there isn't, like, no offense to Joe Thornton, but that was like a non-player for us.
By the end of it, yeah.
He got their last power play goal.
He did. And I was grateful for that. But, like, it wasn't like, man, that's useful. Like, every time he was on the ice, it's like, oh, he's going to get beat to that puck. He's going to get beat to that puck. Like,
man.
The series in Montreal, how many times was it if the Leafs get one goal, everything's completely changed?
So many times.
It wasn't, hey, if the Leafs get one stop, everything's changed. No, if they just pot one in the net, then they win the series.
That Marner one-timer in game 1 that Carey Price stopped, that puck goes in 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's the final score of that game? 2-1.
It was 2-1. Paul
2-1.
Byron scored the sickest goal of his
Yep.
career, shorthanded. Marner scores that goal. 1, 2, 3.
It wasn't
4.
about getting
It's not
stops.
close.
It wasn't about getting stops. It was about getting an extra goal.
Man,
And who knows if that's the same plot this year. So
it could be, but I don't.
we could focus on the defense. Defense could be great, and then Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Willie don't show up.
I don't think it's unreasonable to say out of all the playoff teams that I mentioned, their right side is the worst.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Brody is good, and getting Manson Muzzin under Riley Brody, okay, and then Timoth Rasmus. I'm in. I'm all the way in. Flags on the car. Go Leafs, go! Holy shit!
Yeah.
But they need to do that first.
It was interesting to see Jeff Merrick talk on Saturday night during the 32 Thoughts segment about Peter Mrazek and how that will be a conversation for the summertime. And so that leads me to believe that if that's the conversation for the summertime, the Leafs and Jack Campbell have to be closing in on something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be Dubas' style to sign Jack Campbell now.
Well, and also
He deserves it.
There's no. What's the incentive for the Leafs to trade Mrazek right now? I don't see one. They're about to play a shitload of games. He hasn't played his best hockey at all, but like
Barely got the chance to play. I feel bad for him.
Yes, he's played 6 games. The Leafs have played like crap in front of him in 5. The one game where they had it together, he looked A-okay against the Islanders. And in February, he's going to get to do his job.
I also thought it was really interesting that Jeff said, listen, if the Leafs want to make a deal either now or after the season's over, they will find takers at full price for Mrazek. Like, the contract will not be a problem.
Yep.
They'll just take it.
Yep.
And I thought I think that's a compliment to the Leafs management. And I have not been overly complimentary recently, and I've been hearing it from fans. I get it. And I am pro Dubas. I've always been pro Dubas. Doesn't mean I'm not. It doesn't mean I can't have some questions from time to time. But I think if that's the case, if that is in fact the truth, and I tend to believe Jeff Merrick when he says stuff,
Nah.
that was a really adept contract to sign. Because I remember thinking at the time, I'm like, how the hell are they going to fit this both? And it's like, maybe that was never the goal. Maybe they knew bringing him in that there's enough teams in the league that need a goaltender. Yeah. And at 3.5 or 3.75, whatever he's making,
3.8. Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Get a goalie in the door. 3.8 for 3 years, and it'll be 2 this summer.
Mm-hmm. Like Montreal is one that comes to mind immediately.
Yeah, Mrazek.
Jake Allen's up.
Like, well, I'm saying, sorry, if Price were to be done,
yeah,
Mrazek and Allen split the net. Oh, it's a better situation than the one they got now.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo's going to need a goalie, probably. Even if Luukkonen has a really good progression, they're probably going to need a goalie. The Coyotes could really use a goalie. Lots of teams could really use a goalie.
Sneaky pick too for the summer, and I know this is way too far in advance, but I wonder if the Leafs look at a guy like Rickard Rakell as a depth option.
I wonder if he could be the other part of that deal we just talked about.
Because he's not performing at the level that I think everybody hoped he would be. He's 29 years old. He's going to be UFA. He's got 20 points in 37.
Mm-hmm.
But that's...
you get advocates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting to me that Andre Kasha was kind of an advocate, or it seemed like it, for Nick Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
Because they played together in Anaheim. They know what each other can do, and they played well together. I wonder if there's any beating on the drum like, hey, this guy would really help us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Leafs have scouts, but it'd probably be good to get, who's a better inside source than a player?
Yeah, right? 100%. The other guy that I think the Leafs would be very, very interested in this summer if they can find the room, because remember, Riley's salary is going up, Campbell's salary is going up. You've got Bunting signed for another year, but you're going to have to find some depths.
Kosh's is going to go up too.
Kosh is going to go up too. No more. Well, Nick Ritchie's 2 years, isn't he? They'll find a taker, I would think.
Yeah.
But Vinny Trocheck, who Carolina has been cheap with re-signing people, and he's a UFA, and he plays center or right wing. So the Leafs love a guy who can do both.
Mm-hmm.
They love being able to switch that. He's a jerk to play against.
Yes, he's small, but he's a jerk.
And I think that's a guy I would wonder low key if that's somebody that they're not interested in, if they're able to afford him.
I like that you mentioned Carolina because they're a fascinating player because they're very obviously a Stanley Cup contender, but that is their MO.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting one.
I don't know. I mean, listen, they could re-sign him tomorrow and I could look like an idiot. Wouldn't be the first time. But I just think Trocheck's a perfect fit if you're looking to find your Nazem Kadri again for a cheaper price. Maybe.
I wonder if at some point they feel like, oh shit, we're actually not going to be able to re-sign this kid if they trade Kotkaniemi to someone.
Oh,
that'd be pretty fascinating.
Back to Montreal. And I also wondered with a couple of years left on his deal, Tyler Toffoli in Montreal is an interesting one to me.
Yep.
I bet they could get great value for Tyler Toffoli. You know, he signed under market value during the COVID free agency period. He signed a 4-year contract. So you got him at, what is it, $375, I think is what he makes?
It might be even less. I think the Habs have to be really careful about not overselling this deadline because, again, it's a one-off. You know, guys who have term, I think I'd be skittish of. A guy like Ben Sherratt, yeah, sure. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the press conference.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Quick note from Pathfinder on our Discord, just to show the Leafs bubble that we tend to live in.
Oh boy.
The Boston Bruins were up 3-1 on the Colorado Avalanche in the third period of a game. And they ended up blowing that game and losing to the Avalanche in overtime. The world did not end. The world did not explode because another team blew a lead.
When was the last time they did it?
5 out of 7 times.
Yeah, like, come on.
I'm so sick of being gaslit by...
Listen, we got
by
a little
all these hockey
PTSD
fans.
from that. Like we got
other teams do it. No, the fuck, they don't. No, they don't. First of all, it's the Avs, all right? Even Leaf fans were like, fuck, it was 4-1, but it is the Avs.
But
and dude, 5 out of 7. You're gaslighting me.
You're
toxic.
Here's what I like.
Stop it.
Kevin Papetti, who you need to follow, K Papetti on Twitter.
Known gaslighter.
The Leafs are currently 27-10-3. Their points percentage is .713. If the season ended today, it would be their best record in franchise history.
Hilarious.
They'd also be set to face Tampa in the first round.
As the 3 seed.
Yeah.
Starting on the road. Absolutely. I'm sorry. No, I will not be gaslit. I absolutely will not be gaslit.
You know what I think? You
What?
know what I think?
What?
I think they'd have a shot.
Of
A
course.
real good shot.
All those teams I mentioned, they have a shot.
A real good one.
Which is why you improve on their ass right side on defense.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, go ahead.
Next question comes from
Don't bother watching might have been hyperbole.
Guy Fieri on our Discord. It's
Oh,
not
you think?
really Guy Fieri, but that's their username. What do you think of the new Pokemon game where the Pokemon can attack you? The whole plot is that you're sent back in time to like the 1800s before people really got along with Pokemon, and your goal is to create the first Pokedex. I thought this was really cool. I was trying to look up like a comprehensive plot so I could read to you guys, and I think I got some stuff here. But what do you guys think of the new Pokemon game?
Red Dead Pokedemption? Dude, I love it. I love that concept.
But you don't get to battle other trainers, which I would miss, I think, a little bit.
Yes, but also I think it's a really interesting arena to explore because, I mean, it was something that I always wondered, like when daydreaming playing that game, I'm like, my character should be like dead.
Right.
Because he's a child walking through tall grass all throughout the land, and there's these monsters all over the place. Yeah. Like, why wasn't there ever a cutscene if all 6 of your Pokemon are killed? Sorry, they faint when battling a wild Pokemon, and I have nothing left to defend myself. Like, what do you do when you lose to Articuno? Like, do you just you lose all your Pokemon and you go, yeah, all right, and you just walk away, and he goes, all right, yeah, man, this is good try.
Yeah.
Good try. You tried.
So the game here, there's a good synopsis here. So for those who haven't heard of Pokemon Legends Arceus, I don't know how to say it.
I don't know.
It's a Pokemon word, I think.
Arceus?
Arceus is a semi-open world game in which the player is challenged with traveling the region and establishing a Pokédex. To do this, you'll be given access to huge regions, and you'll get the chance to watch the Pokemons do their own thing. It's evident that they need to be captured. However, it's also important to investigate them and discover why some of them are so enraged. In a nod to Monster Hunter, the game setting will be in the town of Roosty City, where you'll be tasked with completing quests. Achieving a higher rank in the game's exploration will allow you to take on new challenges, explore new places, a radical departure from the norm, but it might also bring in a new audience and destabilize veteran players.
Ooh.
I think it's fascinating. I'd love a truly open world Pokemon. You don't get that fully here, but they're trying to branch into that territory where it's more like GTA and Red Dead.
They need to. That was always the way it needed to go. Linear was never the way.
And they've never done that completely.
No.
I wonder.
Nintendo struggles with anything non-linear. They just except for Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is amazing.
I wonder if they're sort of looking at what Halo Infinite is doing.
What are they doing?
You know what I mean? Like with the. It's a little bit more open world than it used to be, and like it's easier to play with people online, basically. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And I don't know, I hear the 1800s, and as a Red Dead fan, I'm like, yes. Listening.
I like that part is also cool where they're trying to fill in the backstory of Pokemon. And where the first Pokemon came from. It feels like more Game of Thrones-y. You know how they're going back now and they're doing the other Games of Thrones. They're filling in the stories of the pre-world. It's kind of cool. I might check it out. If it's on Switch, I might just get a copy of this game. Anyways.
I got to get a Switch back. I just gave Steve his Switch.
Adam gave it back to me.
I hadn't played it in a while.
That was my divorce present to him.
I got to borrow his Switch for the first wave of the pandemic. And I started Animal Crossing, and I was just sitting alone on my couch alone and nobody could come.
If you ever have a desire to re-pick up Animal Crossing, there's an update that came out in November. What? You think about his divorce?
Not only that, I was alone and nobody could come visit me because it was government mandated.
That's okay. You got to learn about yourself.
I remember on my birthday, Jesse organized a little Zoom for me with the morning show, and it was just like we each had a couple beers and then went to bed, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, cool. What do I do now?
Those Zoom parties sucked.
They were terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I played beer pong on Zoom and it was fun. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Don't tell me it was fun.
I was isolated enough that I really enjoyed when we had that and I was invited.
We had a fun one for my birthday.
Yes. That was a good one.
That April, that was a good one. But then also, you close the Zoom, you close your laptop, and you're sitting there drunk by yourself.
I know.
Yeah, the drunken clarity. Did I ever talk about the Dark Guy house party?
Well, that was where you could just jump into people's parties.
Yeah, so there's an app called House Party.
Oh my God,
I
House
hated
Party.
that app.
Yeah, and I didn't lock it, and it was me and 2 or 3 friends, and we're just having a house party, and someone joins, and I'm like, oh, and we all see the load screen. We're like, who the hell is this? And it's some man with a beard, and I'm like, who the fuck? Oh, it's Dark Guy. Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, guys, this is Dark Guy. I know Dark Guy. And he just told stories for like an hour and a half.
It was kind of awesome.
It was very interesting. Yeah.
House Party was so... I never downloaded House Party because I hated the idea where you're sitting with your friends on like a FaceTime chat and anybody in your contacts can just hop in.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
You could lock it, but... Yeah.
So then have a conversation on the phone.
Yeah, why not just have...
What?
Why not just do... Yeah.
But was there like games and stuff in the House Party app and stuff?
There probably was. I used it like 3 times.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I remember that. There was a group text within our friends, like, let's organize some drinking on House Party. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm going to miss this text.
No, that's House Party is probably what made me decide to play NHL for 4 or 5 hours a day and get sick.
You got pretty good before Leo came out.
And now I'm trash.
You're trash. You're garbage.
I'm trash guy. I think I'm still okay, like EASHL, but like full team, like, oh God. Jesse and I used to be like evenly matched and it was fun. Now he just runs my show.
Now you've joined my streams on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You joined a total of 1 time. And that one time...
That's not true.
Yeah, live on with me. on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
You've joined once. And that one time we played NHL against each other, and I ran your show.
Yeah.
I think it was, who was it? Justin Hall, like through the legs or something like
Oh,
that. It was embarrassing.
Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
Jesse, did you win the cup?
Oh my God. Games 1 and 2 of the 2026 Stanley Cup Final took place on Friday, and we lost both games.
Oh.
And it was solely on the defense. It's funny we're talking about Leafs D. It was just we couldn't stop a single puck. I think it was game 1 we allowed 7 goals. Game 2 was 6 goals.
How are the crowd people today? Are they alive? Are they still with you? Do they still want to fire you? Like what?
No, I think they understand what happened and that our defense let us down. Our captain Morgan Riley is the captain of this team. He had an awful game. He was doing. There's one moment where the puck just needed to get out of the zone, and he decided to skate directly towards the boards and try and head up ice. And then he got the puck stolen from him. I forget what. I think it was Bo Bryant.
AI players do not know what the blue line is.
Yeah, they don't know how to exit the zone. And I'm sitting there on the stream just yelling at this damn sim character, and he can't exit the zone, and it leads directly to a goal. And from there, it was just all downhill. But we got games 3 and 4 coming up on Wednesday. Hopefully, we can get 2 of those back in Colorado and try and even up this series.
I have something I would like to promo before we go. Joining us on Agent Provocateur this week is NHL All-Star Jonathan Huberdeau.
Whoa!
So we're going to talk with Jonathan Huberdeau.
Ask him only St. John Sea Dogs questions.
Okay.
Who's he represented by?
St. John Sea Dogs.
I believe Alan Walsh at Octagon.
Wow.
What a coincidence.
Weird. Marc-Andre Fleury, Max Pacioretty, Jonathan Huberdeau. Who knew?
That's pretty cool.
Who could have seen? Who could have foreseen?
Not me.
Anyway, it's going to be fun. I'm really excited to chat with him. The player episodes always do so well. If you haven't, check out the Paul Gagner episode, which did good numbers over the weekend. And I thought, it's a bit of a departure from what you're used to. But this guy basically explains what it's like to train like an athlete. And I always find that stuff interesting.
He's a guest that requires a sales pitch. Like Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm clicking that every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good episode. You should check it out.
It like you say, it's a departure, but once you start listening to it, it isn't at all.
No, it's not.
It's just nerd hockey talk, which is all of this is. It's the same stuff. Just go listen to it. It's very good.
Yeah.
What?
I was just laughing at the Marc-Andre Fleury one where it's like, it depends how you look at it. Like, oh man, Marc-Andre Fleury tells a funny story about Mario Lemieux, or Mario Lemieux tries to exploit teenage player.
18-year-old child.
Which is how I interpreted it. Like,
yeah,
it's business, baby.
Apparently.
Apparently. Also, we're what we're trying to do too with Alan is we want to line up an episode where we do all video questions.
I got some in the tank.
How many do you have?
I got a few.
How, if people want to submit so we can do one of those episodes soon, how would they do that, Jesse?
They just go to Jesse's house. He'll film you.
Yeah.
And
go to Jesse's house and don't ring the doorbell. Just yell, Jesse!
I got one!
Let me confirm.
Show me the baby.
AskAlanWalsh@gmail.com. We take questions for the show there, or on Discord. There's a AP podcast questions channel, but email's always easier. AskAlanWalsh@gmail.com. 2 L's, 2 A's in Alan. Walsh is spelled like how you think it is.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah, so send in your video or audio questions, and then I'll play them for Alan on the Zoom call.
I was going to say, so that's AALLN. No.
I don't know
It's
where
not how
you
you spell Alan.
Yeah, it is.
AALLN.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
2
Hey,
A's.
Steve, I expect that you will make a submission. I expect you to make a submission.
For Jonathan Hubert.
No. Just as an all questions episode for Alan and I, which we've done before. We're going to do it again, but we want video submissions. So I expect that you will make a question.
What were you thinking with the sword?
No.
Drop
the sword.
Ask him one more time. I'm sure it'll go better.
Yeah,
A warrior never drops a sword.
All right, hey, we'll be back Wednesday. Look out for Noxie and Cax. I believe their next episode comes out tomorrow, right, Jesse?
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow,
And
Tuesday.
CJ show today, too, because it's a double podcast day. We love those boys. CJ and Julian, let's go! We still got more time.
Yeah.
What do you want to fill it with?
Donuts.
SDPN. The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.